do, beautiful people? Big Drip signing in for another edition of Quick Dip from the Legion of Drip. I don't know where you guys' corners are from your perspective, from like the viewer perspective, but we got to get Jack with us. Jack 1401 or 141. What's the numbers, Jack?
141.
141. Get Jack, baby. And you already know him, the legend, the one, the only, the Light Drizzle. And the Quick Sniff is also with us today. What it do, beautiful people? Oh.
Wait, Matt's not here?
That's not here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Matt's not here. That's ridiculous. Classic mix-up. How's everyone doing today?
Pretty good.
Good. Sleepy.
Good.
And I only attempted murder on me twice today, so that's a plus for the usual. That's a plus for the usual.
I almost died because I put up Christmas lights and I'm on a very shaky ladder.
Oh no!
And it's not professionally done. I'm using like different screws and like. I've been decorating all by myself because my dad's had knee surgery. Can't really stand it too long. My mom's working full time. My sister is doing her thing. So it has just been Christmas decorations, food. I just bought a lot of alcohol because as of 5 o'clock today, all bars in Pennsylvania are closed. Yeah, so I bought a lot of alcohol. I'm having some. But if the viewers ask, this is a milkshake, but.
I thought it was a milkshake, honestly. Why are you drinking it out of a protein cup?
So to make this properly, I always get it at the bar. It's like Captain Morgan's Loco Nut. You need a shaker. I was like, why don't they use a shaker? I figured you can just stir it, So before, I had it in a glass and it was not mixing. So I put it in like one of these shakers and I finally got it to look the way it's supposed to look. So that's why I never became a bartender.
That's very funny. All right, Drizzle, I need you to do me a favor, man.
What's that?
Run down our topics today for me, pretty please.
Oh, okay. Ooh. How come I'm doing you a favor?
Yeah, you're definitely doing me a favor.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I have no idea. Big Drip just kind of jumped in. I'm still in bed right now, so honestly, y'all caught me in my PJs and some more to keep it real with you. So that's y'all.
I take offense to that because when you told me you were doing this tonight, the first thing I did, I showered, I shaved, I put a little product in my hair, got a little presentable.
Well, I'm showered.
I got a little cut, I put a Band-Aid over it,
Yeah.
Well, made my bed.
I guess so I guess first things first. Speaking of, I guess you'll learn, Jack, because we just had a conversation with Jack, and Jack is gonna join the corner as a full-time employee making.
Dry walk.
He's gonna be making a really large salary per year.
Yep.
Yeah. So
solid,
Jack's gonna be
like 22 cents a year, something along those lines.
Yep.
Comfortable living.
We're talking 6 figures here. 6 individual payments.
Yeah. If you count the zeros, we're talking 6 figures.
By figures, he means action figures. There you go, 6 figures.
But Jack's gonna come on.
All right, the dad joke came out right there.
Yeah, that's all right. But Jack's gonna start working with us on various aspects, and our viewers will get to see his face a little bit. A bit more. So we're excited to have him. And we just want to say thank you for joining us, and thanks for coming on
Jack,
board.
we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. So what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about, so Amazon just greenlit a new comic book show, so we'll talk about that. We also there's a video game award, and we'll be discussing that. We'll be discussing. I mean, that's more for you guys. You guys know that. But I'll chime in with my 2 cents. We can also talk. There's been I don't know if you call it a development, but there's a couple SnyderCut things that I'd like to bring up towards the end, and then we're gonna talk about Wonder Woman on HBO Max and and hitting theaters at the same time, and what this could mean for the movie theater industry going forward. So with that being said, let's jump right into
I like the sound of it.
let's jump into this video game thing because I'm interested. I would like to hear you guys'
Okay.
thoughts on this.
Okay. So let me
So someone explain what it is.
Yeah, okay. So Jack, do you mind doing that? Because I'm gonna bring up the exact list so I don't do it wrong.
Okay. So right around now you tend to have a lot of big video game wars, but the big one is the VGAs, or at least the more popular ones. That's the one where they actually stream it online. They used to be on Spike. And this gets a little bit dicey because it involves politics, it involves identity politics, stuff like that. And right now, everyone feels that the video game The Last of Us Part 2 is a shoo-in. Now, the first one was really well received. I mean, it is arguably, I mean, I've spent 100 hours on that game, and it's only like a 10-hour game. It is a beautiful story. The second one made some plot decisions that it has fans divided. Some people loved it. Some people were like, "Whoa, you just, Drip, have you played it? I don't want to get into spoilers or anything.
No, I haven't, but I'm very well aware of everything you're speaking on the community and what's going on, and I know exactly what you mean by that. There was a pretty big split, right, for the second one as far as whether they liked the plot decisions they made, etc., so forth. But never once have I heard, "Oh, it's a bad game. I didn't enjoy myself." Right? Yeah.
What the issue is? There's a pivotal character in it named Abby. I'm not going to spoil what that character did. She does something controversial, especially for fans of the first game. And she's a very jacked person. Like, she's got big arms and stuff like that. And in the criticism, some fans made some kind of transphobic remarks, right? And then basically the people who love the game say, "Oh, if you hate this game, it's because you're trans." She isn't transgender, by the way. She isn't. But it's because you're transphobic. You hate women. You hate strong women. So it kind of I'm pretty critical of the game, and I think that's an unfair thing to say. So right now it seems that game is like a shoo-in to win Game of the Year, and a lot of people are saying is it going to win Game of the Year because it's the best game of the year, or is it going to win because it has the right politics or has very progressive politics, which is nothing wrong with having. But that's why it's going to win? Because I think there's Ghost of Tsushima, Cyberpunk might be a contender.
Cyberpunk definitely not. Cyberpunk, I can say with confidence, is not simply because it won't come in time, right? There won't be enough time with the game before the actual award ceremony, right? That being said, I'm almost so this year's lineup. So let me just give you guys the lineup real quick for this year. So it's first Animal Crossing: New Horizons, the Final Fantasy VII remake, Hades, which is how do I explain this? It's action packed, kind of like those old school arcade games, right? It's one of those side scrolling beat 'em up action kind of games. A lot of fun. It's artistically, it's absolutely gorgeous. Well done. The most beautiful looking games I've seen in a long time. I love that kind of shell shade kind of, very animated look to games. I absolutely adore games like that. Ghost of Tsushima, Doom Eternal, and The Last of Us Part 2. So I think it's fair to say it's either Ghost or The Last of Us Part 2 because the other contenders just don't seem.
And it's a bit of a catch-22 because everything. Remember that line? Not to get back into Snyder, but in Batman vs Superman when they're doing the news clips, he's like, "On this earth, every act is a political act," and that's how it feels. Like if the Last of Us 2 wins, it has that'll be considered political. If it doesn't win, it's like, "Oh, you didn't give it to it because of toxic fans," and so it's kind of interesting because now it's not really about the games anymore. It's not whether the games are good or the stories are good, or the effort that went into them. It's about what politics. And we've kind of seen this, with the Academy Awards. They got new rules about
movies,
So we see that trickling into games. And games have sort of become political in the last 5 or 6 years, going back to Gamergate. And so Ghost of Tsushima, I have not played. I was waiting for the PS5 to play that, but I've heard people just go nuts about it. And I'm going to make a small case for. I know it's not nominated, but the new Call of Duty, the campaign was really cool. The Cold War campaign. Yeah, it was actually really good. In fact, the last 2 campaigns, the new Modern Warfare, were actually pretty well thought out. Intelligent, kind of make you think. Dramas, for lack of a better word.
So I think what's going on here is now that gaming is not what it used to be, right? Gaming is a part of society now, right? Like gaming is very well accepted. You know these it's accepted now, right? As of back when it was not. So at the time, award ceremonies were more about us, right? The fans, what we liked the most. But now that gaming has been accepted the way it is, and now these big money companies are getting their grubby little hands into them, and they're kind of pulling the strings in the back. Well, now it's not about us so much anymore. It's about the politics, the you know, all that nonsense that comes with it, right? The money, the message, the money, the politics. So that being said, I think it's fair to give it to The Last of Us.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I did a 15-minute, a 40-minute rant about why I hated and loved The Last of Us. Like, I couldn't stop playing. The gameplay was intense. I didn't necessarily feel what they wanted me to feel, but I give them props. I compare it to The Last Jedi, not to get into Star Wars that much, but like Last Jedi took some risks. As a Star Wars fan, I hated it. I knew they were trying to do something different, but it's the same thing. So we were like, hey, at least they did something different. And, you know, it's like I feel like you need a couple of years to go by and see how we look back at that game or look back at that film. But I do think Last of Us 2 is probably going to win. But not because it's a good game or it took risks, but because of the politics. You know, which is a shame because it is a very good game in terms of gameplay, and it is gut wrenching.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking straight up gameplay, I give it to Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is nothing but nonstop, balls to the wall action gameplay. You're in it, you know. I'm actually running through it as we speak. You know, I got it on.
I don't think a game like that, like going back to what you were saying, I don't think a game like that can win, even though it could. It should.
No,
it can. It has to be more like a movie, or you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to be teaching you something. It just can't be a fun game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the difference comes in as to how much say we have in it. The fans, the guys actually at home playing these games. You know, we have little to no say in this. The same way we have little to no say in the Grammys or the Oscars. You know, it's really come to that point, unfortunately.
I'm gonna start watching the Teen Choice Awards again, man. That's like all the movies I like are always on that. Yeah. I just want to come off as creepy, like, dude, why are you watching the Teen Choice Awards? No, they nominated SnyderCut.
You know, so is there anything else that, like, who decides who wins this award thing? Like who's
for like the VGAs, the one that's telecast, I think it's supposed to be by votes, but I think they say the same thing about the Oscars. I don't think so. Like, I think they look at the votes, but
no, I'm talking strictly this game one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's supposed to be by votes. Like, fans are voting online.
Yeah, it's exactly what Jack said. It's supposed to be by votes because, quote unquote, it's for the fans. But it's not. You know, at the end of the day, our votes, it's just like any other election. The popular vote really means nothing at the end of the day. You know, there's always an electoral college, if you will, you know?
Gotcha. Well,
pop culture corner politics.
yeah. A little new segment. Just kidding. Well, I mean, so turning away from that, I mean, whoever is more deserving of winning, I hope wins. Right. I hope they don't bring any politics or anything like that into it. However, with everything in the world, I think that was a great comparison that you made. Is the Batman versus Superman line, right?
Yeah, everything becomes political, whether you want it to or not.
Yeah. Speaking of DC, so Patty Jenkins shed some light on her Amazonian spinoff. So, I think Justin and I talked about it before on Quick Dip when we were talking about an Aquaman spinoff.
Yes, we did.
We brought up that Patty Jenkins had been working towards an Amazonian spinoff. She shed some light on it today or yesterday, about where it would fit into the timeline. So basically what she said, it's not going to take place in between Wonder Woman 1 in 1984. it's more likely to take place between 1984 and Wonder Woman 3. And it will be after Diana leaves Themyscira, and it will be focused on the remaining Amazonians on the island, and the trials and tribulations of whatever's going on there in Diana's absence. And it will tie into Wonder Woman 3 and 1984 with certain aspects. However, it'll be a more self-contained story as well. So I thought that was nice. I thought that was cool.
I want to throw in for 2 seconds my Wonder Woman 1984 theory, and then because I think it might tie into the Amazonian show. Okay. I don't think that the Wonder Woman in Wonder Woman 1984 is from the year 1984. I think she's the Wonder Woman from today, and I think there's going to be a little bit of time travel involved.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. Because they clearly stated that she avoided humanity for a century, but here you see her clearly, and then Steve Trevor was dead. I have I don't know. This is just me.
Interesting. Interesting. So you're either right or you just caught a continuity error, one or the other.
But with the Wonder Woman, with the Amazonian show, I would take the cue from the movie that during World War I, you could take major events that have happened throughout history and make each season focus on that. World War II, testing of the atomic bombs, the Cold War,
things of that sort. Yeah, absolutely.
9/11, the war on terror. All of a sudden, all these forces are now satellite imaging can find this place. I think that could be cool, and I think the Queen Mother should be the main character. Hippolyta, I can never get her name right.
It's up for debate, but it's Hippolyta.
She was in Gladiator. She was Commodus' sister. I always forget that actress's name, but she would be great. I think as a leader, as a lead in the show.
Yeah. Agreed.
And it's a shame they killed off her sister because she's a good actress too. The one who gets Wonder Woman's aunt.
I'm really hoping, because like Drizzle had mentioned, we did talk about this when we brought up Aquaman's possible show, and I'm just really hoping that Patty's able to think more out of the. I'm sure she's a major Hollywood director, but I'm hoping that she's able to get outside of the box with this show, and it's not the same constant tropes that we brought up on the last time we talked about it, which is someone discovers the island or some ancient villain that they've always known about but never mentioned shows up, or it's seems to me it seems like there's a likelihood of the same exact plot line, poking its head in it every season, every couple of episodes,
Yeah.
And even then, and in some ways, if you're going to do a spinoff, focus on those characters, please.
Yeah.
They have a tendency to be like, oh, let me call Arthur Curry. Hey, Arthur, it's me. And they don't actually show it. And then you're not really interested in the characters. You're waiting for Arthur Curry to do a cameo.
Yeah.
Make it about these characters. To give you a great example, have you guys ever seen Star Trek Deep Space Nine?
I have not.
No.
Okay. So that started the last season of Star Trek The Next Generation. So in the very first episode, you see the cast of Star Trek The Next Generation, and then you see the cast of the new show, right? Now everyone knows Captain Picard and all those characters. They're in the first episode, and then they leave. And it was very deliberate. The idea is you're not going to see those guys anymore. You're familiar with them. They're introducing you to new characters. That's it. You're not going to see them. These are their own characters, their own shows. So if they do an Amazonian show, I think Gal should stay away from it. Don't even mention their characters. Make it about those characters, their stories. Don't be like, oh, let me call Diana real quick and do that thing where they're talking to her on a phone or some shit.
Yeah.
And she, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I fear that's going to be very common as well. Constantly bringing up Wonder Woman. Oh, how could we ever solve this? What would she do? Oh, we need her. A constant mention and constant she, hers, this, that's, Yeah. And I agree with you 100%. I hope they focus and flesh out these characters.
Yeah, and the thing about your theory, it's very interesting.
It's a stupid theory, but it's just
no, it's quite interesting.
It's interesting.
I think they've so. But Zach set up certain plot lines that the directors of the solo films strayed away from. For instance, the air bubble thing in Aquaman. James Wan didn't use it the same way as Zach did, and that that what she says, you know,
Yeah,
I
you're right.
went away from humanity for so long, for centuries, you know, that then Patty kind of retconned it. So it's
Yeah, you're right.
interesting
Yeah.
because I wish that there would be no little holes like that, right? I don't like that kind of stuff because then people poke fun or oh, how, you know what I mean? They clearly like didn't follow their own leads. It's like, well, no,
Yeah.
like a certain director
Yeah.
didn't do it like
And
that.
I'm assuming, do we
Um,
see Steve Trevor die again now? Because he's clearly not.
Right, I think what happens, what will happen is she's granted some sort of, so it looks like everyone gets what they want the most.
Yeah.
And hers would be Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor comes back, but we know that Steve Trevor, so in order for Wonder Woman to beat Pedro Pascal's character, she needs to send Steve Trevor back to, you know, the abyss. So
Yeah.
we know that
Yeah.
he's not going to be there the whole movie. And in order for her to win and succeed, she's going to have to sacrifice him being back.
Yeah.
And that's where the tanglement will come. You know, her making that choice, like, well, I got what I wanted. Steve's back, but I also have this maniacal, insane dude. In order for me to defeat him, you know, Steve's gonna have to go and be dead again.
It's a shame because they have good chemistry, those two actors.
They do. They do. Absolutely.
Just fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Chris Pine as an actor to begin with, so I'm kind of glad.
Swear to God, if they bring him back for a third movie, it's over. I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, what if when they send him into the abyss, he ends up in the future? Who cares?
Who cares?
I'm
kind of happy that they found like an excuse to bring him back because I like him as an actor, and you're right, they do have great chemistry. So to see them on screen together again is you know, good to me, and I like your explanation. If that's what they're going for, then I'm cool with it. It seems a little cliche, a little tropey, but that's okay with me. I love Wonder Woman, so you really can't do too much wrong, you know.
Yeah. So I think the show in general could do good things. I think an Amazonian show and an Aquaman, you know, Atlantean show could work well off of each other. Not the sense that where they would cross over, but giving HBO Max subscribers the ability to dive deeper into these, you know, beautiful worlds, and you know, I think that would do well for the characters and when they're in the movies, and people will know a little bit more about Themyscira or know a little bit more about Atlantis.
So I'm thinking the aim is the explanation given in Justice League about man, Atlanteans, Amazonians. I think that's where they're gonna go with this. I think we'll get. I don't think man is gonna get their own show because like
they do all the time.
Exactly. That just sounds dumb.
Every other show is man.
But we'll get the Atlanteans and we'll get the Amazonians, and then, you know, man will play their part in that, right? But I think as far as time frame, I would prefer before Wonder Woman, before Arthur. But chances are we're not going to get it because they're the $2 signs, right? So chances are that's not what we're going to get. But that's what I would prefer, is that little, you know, sequence where Steppenwolf shows up in Justice, and then in SnyderCut it's Darkseid. I would like that as like these shows, that kind of era fleshed out more. And, you know, I want to know about the Queen and the King of Atlantis at the time. That'd be great.
That'd be really, you know, it'd be really cool. How, you know, that's not the way this is gonna happen. I mean, it's sad to say, but that would be dope. It'd be so cool if both the Amazonian and Atlantean, and again, it's not even confirmed to be an Atlantean show. It could even be the Trench. But if they did an Atlanta show and an Amazon Themyscira show, and like I said, they built up, in the last scene for both of the shows was that big battle, or the finale for both of these shows was that crossover battle. That'd be dope.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The lead up to it, right? The meeting beforehand, the whole nine. How, like, how did they know Darkseid was coming in the first place? Everybody that was waiting for him there. They had an army waiting for him there. I mean, they have the content. Like, it's there right in front of them. Just take it, use it, give it to us. You know?
Zach's gonna explore. I think what still resonates in my head is the way Jack kind of brought it up on the first time he was on was, wouldn't it be cool if the Snyder Cut started with a Lord of the Rings-esque battle?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like now that's all I want is that that's the
absolutely.
way I want it to start.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. But I don't think
if it doesn't start that way, I'm freaking out. I'm leaving.
I don't think do you think Zach's gonna spread that scene out more? Because it was very quick that scene, in the theatrical version.
That's a 30-minute scene, they say, I believe.
I hope so. Well, we're talking a 4-hour, 4-parter movie, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I can call it a movie anymore, honestly. But I mean,
miniseries.
Yeah, miniseries seems more appropriate. But I think there's a possibility of that. A whole 30 minutes, it seems unlikely. But you know, a solid 10, 15 minutes of that large of a scale battle, that's a lot. Like, you know, there's a lot going on.
Like even Saving Private Ryan, like the first 20 minutes is just like no explanation, just big battle.
Yes, exactly. That'd be God, my heart. Oh, my heart. That's one of my favorite movies. Excellent.
That's how you set up Darkseid.
That's how,
I can imagine, like, dude, when does he come back? That dude is scary.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So
now, especially with Thanos,
I'm glad you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. So, Game Geek News, I think, is the magazine or the online, whatever it is. So they're saying, and a lot of shows or a lot of like people that do what we do have already hinted towards this or theorized. So apparently, Warner Brothers definitely wants more, and it's looking like they want a trilogy-esque. So 3 seasons of maybe 4 or 5 episodes per, keeping Ben Affleck as Batman throughout it, and then Robert Pattinson will be the film Batman, where Ben stays on HBO Max. It kind of just they're pretty much just reiterating what we've all said and thought.
Yeah.
But they're trying to say it's like that's where this is going.
Yeah.
So I just like to get your opinions on it before we move on.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I still don't understand how it's gonna work, right? Not aside from the fact that it's not Ben Affleck physically. We've established in the DCEU that Batman is 20 plus years into this already. The Batman, the movie, Matt Reeves' movie, is establishing
No. Matt Reeves' Batman is not going to be in the DCEU. I'm saying
so no Batman in the DCEU then, because if Ben's on HBO Max, what do we have?
That's the DCEU's Batman still. He's just on HBO Max for the Justice League story. Then he'll make his way into Flash movie, and it's not going to be a cameo. You know, he's writing.
So we will still see him in film.
Possibly.
Yeah. But
Batman is.
Possible.
So, like, here's what happened, and this is where, like,
they're just talking about confusing viewers, right? You know what I mean? They're like, well, Ben will be here, but it won't make people mad that they have to. You know, there's 2 Batman on in the movies because
I see
Matt Reeves' Batman's still going on.
Like we have 2 Jokers. Yeah. We have the Joaquin Phoenix Joker that is its own thing, and now Jared Leto is back. They're doing. This just kind of
maybe I said that wrong. Sorry.
You did. You definitely did. But that's okay.
I said that wrong.
Warner Brothers inadvertently gave us the multiverse because of their own bad management. They didn't want Ben Affleck to do his thing. Apparently, Jeff Johns didn't like the script. So you're either fired or you left. We're moving on. Matt Reeves is doing his own thing. AT&T buys. They're like, hey, we're going to do the Snyder Cut. And then all of a sudden, they're like, hey, people still like Ben Affleck as Batman. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to do the multiverse. So I think it can work. I'm not against it. Let Robert Pattinson do the movies. Let
Yep.
Ben Affleck do the,
Yep.
okay, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, they get the movies, and then do the reuniting of the Justice League in film or on HBO. I am 100% down for that.
I think the best bet, I'm going to bring up the example you gave, Joaquin Phoenix and Jared Leto. I think it all depends on how you release these, right? If you release these too close to each other, if you give me a Robert Pattinson Batman roughly around the same time as a Ben Affleck Batman, I think there's going to be problems. I think people are going to be mad, and I'd be mad. I don't want to see that. I don't want that. I would prefer if you space them out, right? Give me Matt Reeves Batman, and then sometime down the road, give me Ben, like alternate, switch it up. Don't give it to me right back to back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it would be bothersome. I think for the general audience, it's going to be confusing. I think Warner Brothers is doing too much. I think they're trying to please everybody, and it's not going to work. It's just not. Like, you're doing way too much here. I think they need to pump the brakes, stop listening to the internet, and just do their thing. They're a successful company for a reason. They're a multi-$100 million company for a reason. I think they're listening to Twitter way too much,
Yeah, I would say that, like, right now, here's what happened. They tried to compete with Marvel and moved too quickly. Yeah. And it didn't work. Then they did the solo movies, and then they realized that, okay, there's still an interest in the work we did, with Snyder and stuff. And all of a sudden, I'm sure they're looking at their algorithms like, okay, so we're doing our own thing, but we also have interest in this film that was made 3 years ago, right?
Yep.
One way we could differentiate from Marvel is to do the multiverse. And I'm sure they're not doing this because they want to please the fans. They want to do it because they want to make money. And they're like, hey, if we can make money both on film and in television, we'll do that. Could it work? I think, but it has to be done well. Like, you have to put effort into both of them. I think audiences will understand. Like, no one was like watching the Joker movie and like, wait, what happened to Jared Leto? They knew that this was its own thing.
Yeah. Well,
what happened to Ledger,
Well,
figure it out.
On several occasions, I had to explain exactly that. On several occasions, I had general audience people that just were kind of watching the movie just because it looked cool, asking me, well, what happened to the dude with the tattoos and the grill I seen earlier? I liked him. Why is he gone now? I got that question often, and I had to explain to them in detail what happened.
Bond. I always say, it's like James Bond. Like, you don't ask why Sean Connery looked different than Daniel Craig. Same character, different story.
Yeah, true. That's a good, Jack, actually. That's good.
Like, I remember when The Dark Knight came up, people were like, didn't Jack Nicholson die in the first movie? I'm like, it's not the same Joker. You don't want to see it, because if it's good, word of mouth spreads, and everyone will just go see it. Like, oh, maybe I'll check out the Robert Pattinson Batman and that Justice League movie,
True. Very true.
I can't tell you how many people I've gotten into the DCEU ever since the Snyder Cut happened. I explained to them, like, oh, this is the whole drama behind it. I think it could work if it's good. Like, if it's crap, then, But I think Matt Reeves will make a good Batman movie. I think the Snyder Cut will be good if you like Man of Steel, if you like BVS, at least the Ultimate Edition. And I think they'll realize, like, hey, we have two fan bases. We can make money off both of them.
Suck that dry.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So I am still waiting. I'm expecting that in the next week or so, we'll hear that Black Widow is going to get the treatment that Wonder Woman got. They'll release it. Just waiting for it.
That was the boss move, by the way, because they saw what happened with Mulan, and they saw how people.
Let's not talk Mulan. All right, I don't want to talk about Mulan for another 25 minutes. Went so far into this Mulan thing. No, I'm just kidding.
But my point is, like, they were like, okay, so that didn't work. Like, Warner or HBO's like, okay, so you don't want to charge them. Let's just give people what they want. They have to figure out how to make money off of it. I'm pretty sure HBO is probably making some kind of deal. Like, look, you get it for 1 month, but you pay us X amount of money, and then we're going to put it on 4K Blu-ray in theaters. And it's a shame because this could have made like $800-900 million.
Easy. Nothing's coming out right now. Nothing. Easy.
So there are a couple of companies have renegotiated with AMC. And what that means is, so like you said, So if I'm a film studio, right, if this is the normal world, no COVID, blah 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 blah, what happens is I make a movie and I give exclusive rights to theater chains. And I do that for 1.5 months, 2 months, sometimes up to fucking sometimes up to 3 or 4 months. That's exclusive for theaters only. It can only be showed in theaters and it cannot go anywhere else until that run is over. From there, once that 3, 4, 2 months, whatever it is, ends, that's when you get the video on demand, not Netflix, not because that's something different entirely. But all the video on demand stuff comes, the digital release. Then after that ends, then you get the Blu-ray. But this, COVID has completely flipped the game. So there are some companies have renegotiated with AMC for 7 days. So the movie will go to theaters for 7 days before it can go anywhere else. 7 days.
Yeah. So you know what this made me think of? Like back in the day, before you had VHS or DVD, like if you wanted to see a movie, you had to see it in theaters. So like a movie like Star Wars was in theaters for like a year. And I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be great if they just brought that back? Okay, you're not going to make $400 million in 2 weeks. But you could make it over a year.
Time.
Yeah. Leave Wonder Woman 1984, not that movie specifically, but big budget movies. All right, we'll do it for a year because you can't have 200 people in a theater anymore. You have to cut it down to, let's say, 100. What if we just have the movie kind of like a play, like you're going to go see Hamilton? Oh, I don't have tickets this month, but I'll be seeing it next month. That kind of thing. That might bring back the old school movie theater way where a movie's in theaters for a year. I'd be fine with that. But of course, then you have spoilers and stuff like,
But a lot of people's incentive to go to the movies in the first place is because of that deal, because it's not available anywhere else, and I want to see it now, right? But if they give me that year in theaters, but I can watch it on HBO Max, I've already seen it, and I don't particularly like it that much, I'm not gonna go to theaters for that, right? So they don't really stand, like, that's not gonna replace that normal movie going experience money. It's a good idea.
If they don't do streaming at all, but they want to make their money
you're not going to give me streaming? That's
I was thinking hypothetically that could come back. That was just because you said how they have to renegotiate. I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be interesting if they went back to the way movies used to be, where like they would keep it in theaters for a long time? I don't think that's what's going to happen because people want the product now. You can't do 3 Marvel movies a year and keep them all in theaters for a year. You got to keep pumping it out. But I think they're going to have to rethink streaming. Like, okay, here's a movie that was going to make $900 million. We're going to give it to you, HBO Max. Are you willing to give us $900 million?
Yeah.
Or okay, fine. Give us 10% of your new subscribers. They're going to have to figure out a way because it's big movies that are hurting. Independent films that cost $1 million, they're fine.
Right. They're good. Yeah.
So
big budget, $100 million movies.
And by the way, if HBO Max was going to charge $30 to watch Wonder Woman, I'd pay that to see Wonder Woman.
Absolutely, in a heartbeat. Not Mulan, Wonder Woman in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
exactly.
And there's a thing. So people don't realize, or someone said it to me the other day. Well, COVID's going to end. Yeah, COVID is going to end, but this is never going to leave anyone's mind. The thought that this could happen again and again. And it's only going to get worse. The next time is going to be worse. It's sad to say, but the environments that we create for ourselves, the Chinese meat market, whatever it is, this is the worst it's been. And this isn't even that bad theoretically. I mean, a lot of people are dying, but not in crazy, not the bubonic plague. How that
or
was
Spanish flu.
If you got it, that's a wrap. I mean, the chances of you surviving were slim to none.
Even not even that long ago, AIDS, you were finito. Like there was no chance you were, unless you had millions in the bank, which most didn't.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah,
and you got to figure, like, okay, let's say AMC wants to open new theaters, and I guarantee the insurance is going to be a lot higher because, like, hey, what happens if there's another pandemic? What happens if there's another lockdown?
Yep.
And
Yep.
the ticket prices are probably going to get higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think that going forward, something needs to be done to make, because the movie theaters have always done a good job of staying relevant. Over the years, they've had ups and downs. They always find a way to make it so that people still want to go there. And obviously, the exclusivity of having one of those big movies come out to them first was always that's their cake, right? Like that's why you come here. So with that changing, it's physical media is already on its way out. I would hate to see the movie theaters close. However, they're gonna have to figure something out to make people comfortable with going there again. And I'm interested to see how it goes.
It's crazy. Like if you had told me when I was a kid in 2020, libraries will still be around, but movie video stores will be gone, I'd be like, no way, video stores ain't going anywhere, and they're gone.
Yep, gone.
Yeah.
Poof.
Like that.
Finito.
You have a video store on your phone.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Drive-in theaters are becoming popular again.
Yeah, they are. Look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, right? But like this might be a hit that they can't recover from. Yeah. We might lose theaters. Nobody's talking about it, but it's true. They might be gone. Like this is a big hit. Like movie theater. If you ask me, it's like movie theaters, events, and like conventions, stuff like that. That guy hit the hardest for all of this. And like the theater especially might not recover. They really might not, because a lot of people don't give a damn anymore. A lot of people are like Drizzle and have a setup similar to the theater or better. They don't care if it's gone. What am I going to miss? Overpriced, cheap, stale popcorn? No, a lot of people don't care. So they might. There's a solid chance they don't recover from this.
And listen, we have to adapt. Right. So if they go out of business and they don't get any government aid, which is highly likely that they do once, especially Biden, being a Democrat, and he'll bail out the airline industry and the theater industry will probably be right behind them asking for some help. But let's see how long that lasts.
Exactly.
The longer this goes on, we'll see.
And a bailout is not like a complete rescue. A bailout is just like, oh, this is temporary, but you still have to figure this out. Like we'll hold you over, but you still need to solve this problem. And I don't think they can.
And not to mention that before COVID, movie theaters weren't doing too well. And you'd be like, well, how come? Because except for the big budget Marvel movies or Disney movies, they're back in the day. You take a movie like, remember that movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze?
Yeah.
That's a romantic comedy. Or not, sorry, not a romantic comedy, a romantic drama. That made like $400 million in 1991. People don't go to watch those movies in theaters anymore.
No,
people
don't.
Go to
they go for Infinity War.
Dramas. Exactly. Yeah. So like right now, if you take the comic book movies out, they're actually losing a lot of money. Like I remember back in the day, first of all, movie tickets were cheaper when I was a kid. You would go see, there's a new movie with Robert De Niro out. Oh, we'll go see that. There's a new movie with Denzel out. Let's go see that. Nowadays, have you seen this new movie? I go on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not getting out. I'm not watching it. And that'd be the end of it. People only watch the big tent films. And, that's it. Like, I don't know if, romantic comedy.
You know what? You're not.
They're already thinking of, like, we're done with movie theaters. No one's going to spend no one's going to watch. No one's going to spend $400 million to watch our movies. That's all Marvel.
You know what's awesome? On a brighter note, exactly what Jack just said. We're kind of winning, right? Like the nerds. Like the only reason people go to movie theaters now are for comic book movies mostly. That's awesome. I love that. That's amazing. We're winning, baby.
In terms of businesses that have gone up, this COVID might have saved GameStop. GameStop is on its way down. And I talked to them. They're like, dude, it's been crazy. We're running out of stock. Gaming at a local mom pop gaming store. He's like, our business went up 300% during COVID. People are buying video games, consoles like nuts because now they have the time to play a 50-hour game. So the video game industry is like, we like COVID. It's good for us. We're making more money than ever. PlayStation 5 just had the biggest launch ever, bigger than PS4, bigger than PS3, bigger than PS2.
Yep.
They're happy.
Some people are like, the gains are absolutely absurd, but on the other hand, the losses are just unfathomable. It's really just like one or the other. There is no in between. You're either losing a lot or you're winning a lot. You know?
Did any of you guys go to the movies during COVID?
Yeah. We went to New Mutants.
I went to see.
I've been a few times.
Oh yeah,
Tenet.
you went with that. Yeah.
I went to see Tenet, and then I wanted to go see some horror movies. I'm a horror movie fan, but then the lockdown started up again. They shut everything down. But it's actually kind of fun. Like the whole theater is kind of empty. It's like you and 5 other people. But that's not sustainable. Like you said, Drew, that's not sustainable.
Well, it's actually costing. So funny story, and this isn't funny. This is like tragic. So it is costing them more money to keep the theater open than they are. They don't make any money off of ticket prices. They make their money off of concessions. And what isn't available right now is concessions. For most theaters, concessions aren't available. So you're turning the lights on and you're spending more money than you're actually making. And that's all because of they want to seem like, you know what I mean? They want to give you the illusion that they're still here and they're relevant. Yeah. And it's like you're hurting yourself. Just close down for a while, come back. You know what I mean? Lay everybody off.
We all understand why
it has to happen.
Yeah.
So, or you know, my local theater, you ordered your popcorn, your cheese, and they say, "What's your ticket number? Or what's your seat number?" Okay, we'll bring it to you. Like it's no longer like you stand in line. You know.
Oh, so, okay.
It's pretty interesting. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, you know how some theaters are having more and more food, kind of like a diner almost?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they switch to that. Like, hey, how do we make money? Let's sell food.
Yeah,
actual
exactly.
Food.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
AMC does a deal with Pizza Hut. You know, we have Pizza Hut pizza. Order and during the movie, we'll just come and drop it off to you. Like, they're going to have to get creative because I don't want movie theaters to go away.
Nope.
I don't either. I don't either.
That would be a good idea. Showcase, which is it's National Amusements. It's their brand. Same thing as like Regal. Regal is owned by National Amusements. So what they have now, they don't really do a lot of. I mean, they still do candy and all that stuff, but they have full service restaurants inside the theater, and you can order it, and they do. I mean, you had to go out and get the food yourself and bring it to your seat.
Even use an app.
Yeah, exactly. So National Amusements was ahead of the curve on that. AMC they were getting there, but it wasn't full scale yet. They were getting the bars, the MacGuffin bars. All their bars are MacGuffin owned, but I mean, we'll definitely see some creativity coming from the theaters in upcoming.
And you're gonna have to change the way seating is now. I mean, like it's right next to each other. Okay,
which I'm cool with. I'm cool with being in my own little box or something, you know.
Yeah, or like a diner where you have those like half. I don't know what they're called. They're like those seats, like in a diner where like they're half circle, and you have a little table in front of you. That might be the new thing.
Yeah,
like we'll do that, and we'll put guard
style.
Yeah.
If they really think about this and make it really interesting, it could actually change theaters forever. It can make it more like a play or a show, or servers come out, bring you food. Yeah. You put your order in.
Real quick, Jack.
Yeah, I want popcorn
I know, you and your popcorn, man.
I know,
we talked about that on the other show too, right?
Yeah. I won that.
Just real quick, because I know we wanted to get to this. Out of 10, what do you give the PlayStation 5 for capabilities, power, graphics, all that?
Yeah, this is all you, Jack. I haven't played this bad boy yet. This is all you.
I have a PS3, 4, and 5 launch days. So far,
really,
I would give it a perfect 10. That doesn't mean that score can't drop. I think I had one issue, like where Black Ops wasn't downloading the first day for whatever reason. Then there was like a quick fix, and I mean that stuff happens. But I got the one with the optical disc, so I put a 4K disc in there, and you hear the optical disc spin. I'm like, okay, so you're gonna hear it spinning. You hear it spin up, and then it just goes silent. I've never experienced that. I have a 4K player, I have a Blu-ray player. you don't hear the disc spinning.
There's always some
like,
hum.
It does at first. Yeah, the hum, and it's like so silent. It's like it's off.
Yeah.
The load screens are amazing. I'm playing Watchdog Legions right now. When you do fast travel, you usually got to wait like 5 or 6 minutes, like for the next load screen. Load screens are quick. The menu is more interactive, and they also changed the PlayStation app to be more user-friendly. It's familiar. It's more similar to the PS4 in terms of interface. But so far, I like it. I like the video capture stuff. I'm able to put stuff directly on YouTube. I think you could do that with the PS4. But they have voice command, which is really cool. So far, everyone says it's big, but you can tell they're like, we need to become a PC. Like, we need to be a high-end PC. I mean, you can see it behind me. It's a monster. It's really ridiculously big, but it's not loud at all. In fact, when you're playing any game, you don't hear it. Like, it's just silent. Not silent.
They'll work on getting it smaller from now till, you know what I mean? Like, that's the next thing they'll work on is compacting it. I feel like that's what happens every time.
I like that it's big. I like that it's over the top. The haptic, these controllers, I didn't really know what this meant. I was like, oh, vibrates like the other controllers. Let me give you an example. You play Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You pick up a Galil. You pick up an AK-47. You pick up a Remington sniper rifle. Each one of them, the controller vibrates differently based on how you fire it. Like, I'm like, whoa, that is cool. That is neat. I like that.
That's their way of simulating, like, how do I explain this? It's I guess a gun is the best way to explain it. They're simulating those different kind of, because it's a first person shooter, right? So you're supposed to be in it's a point of view kind of thing. So if you're shooting an AK, but your controllers just buzz, rather than with the same repetition of the weapon, it's not. You see what I'm saying? As far as like interactive goes, I get it.
It happens when you pick it up or when you shoot it.
No, when you shoot it. Yeah, when you fire.
It simulates kickback.
Kickback.
There you go.
Different weapons. For a pistol, it'll be different. For an AK, it'll be different. For a SCAR, it'll be different. I'm like, it's really
cool.
And like different parts of it vibrate. Like I'm trying to, like, especially in Miles Morales, like if you knock into something, you'll feel like the right side of the thing like vibrate, meaning like you knocked into something.
That's interactive and that's pretty cool.
And graphically it looks nice, but every time you have a new generation, there's like a period where they kind of look the same. Like they look like really good PS4 games. It's going to take a while before they really get beautiful. But so far, I've been really in love with it. I've played 3 games on it. I'm still waiting for my Assassin's Creed, which I pre-ordered in September, but GameStop lost
it. I can't even believe that you haven't got that yet. I can't even believe that.
I pre-ordered it.
GameStop sucks.
See, I wanted to give GameStop another chance because GameStop is the reason I got my PS5 with no hassle. Get in line, put the order down because everyone went online and it crashes. And you get a physical, they have the SKUs, got it done. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to give GameStop another chance. But because of the civil unrest, Assassin's Creed still hasn't arrived. And I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And like, that's another game I've heard is really amazing with like the PS5. So so far I love it. I'm not going to pretend I'm like tech savvy and tell you about the specs on the inside, but solid state drive, this thing is way cheaper than it should be. I've talked to people who may build their own PCs. They say, look, the specs in this should be like at least $900. So they're losing money on this. They're hoping to make it with games. So
in
fact, now I want to kind of like end this and just play. No.
No.
Got me all Jones.
We're getting there, buddy. We're about to get there. We're about to get there.
At least you own it. I don't even own it yet. I have a whole
producer, I think the show has gone too long. I think we need to
Jack, I still have a whole month before I even get mine. Talk about jonesing. I'm dying over here, but I have no choice. I stick to a code, and my code is never buy on launch. Never buy on launch, and I stick to that code. I refuse. I can't do it. Not after the PS3 360 era. Not again.
Oh yeah, that was pretty bad. My PS4 launch, I still have it downstairs, works fine. I always tell people like, oh, it's not just about keeping your system clean. You got to keep the room clean. And we know if you have a dusty room, but you keep your system, it's just gonna keep clogging up. I dust my room every week. I wipe it down. You got to get that out of the room. I bought a HEPA filter. It's an accomplishing thing. You got to keep that. If you keep the room clean, this console stays clean. You know.
Yep.
And I got a warranty on this for 2 years because it's gonna, they're probably, you're right, launch day issues. Yeah.
Yeah. Something.
But I love it. It's been a dream.
Moral of the story is it's a good piece of machinery is what I'm getting from that.
No, moral of the story is don't buy an Xbox, buy a PlayStation. Moral of the story. Don't buy Microsoft.
I haven't heard anything about the Xbox One X or whatever.
I have.
There's no media about it.
No, I've heard. I've heard. Look, I don't think this generation we're gonna get any kind of complaints, like legitimate complaints, anyways. I think we're past that point. I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, PS4 and Xbox One, there really were no actual issues with these consoles. I'm pretty sure we're past that point of like legitimate, like the system breaking down type of issues.
Red rings of death.
Yeah, I think we're way past that point. I don't think that shit coming back anytime soon. So any complaints you do hear will be very nitpicky, very like, oh, that's not my personal preference. That's not my style. I don't, those are the type of complaints you're going to hear.
What PlayStation 4 really started is the thing of exclusives. They have so many freaking exclusives. And we may not be talking about the console war now, but a year or two from now, if they announce Elder Scrolls 6 exclusive for the Xbox, Fallout 5 exclusive for the Xbox, you're going to be like, holy crap. I mean, I love
think I'm
those
buying an Xbox. I think I'm going to have to buy an Xbox. Oh, I hate that. I hate that.
It is what it is. Sometimes you got to eat Burger King, right?
Oh, I hate Burger King too. I hate Burger King too.
The rest is crap.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I really appreciate you guys joining me today. We're gonna try to stream tomorrow as well.
Oh, it's my show.
Yeah, so we're gonna try tomorrow. It's just tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and with my mother, being in the condition she is, I don't want to promise it because I want to spend some time with her, and I wanted to make sure we got this in today. For anyone watching, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Turkey Day.
We at the corner, we appreciate you. Yeah, we appreciate you. If you ever need to talk, or if you're feeling like you need anything, we're always here, and we're always willing to tell you that we care. With that being said, we are raising money for suicide prevention still. So the link will be in the description of this video. It's our GoFundMe, and it never touches our hands. It goes right to AFSP. People used to scum and raise money and then steal it for themselves. So GoFundMe has changed it, and it goes right to there's not even a wait. It goes right to the charity. So please help us reach our goal. We only have 5 more days in it, and we haven't really been doing too well. So couple dollars is all we ask. We're not asking for $100, $200, but anything you can help helps go towards someone who might need it. Join us this Sunday for Mr. Ray Porter, Darkside himself.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Can I ask one favor?
Of course.
He will not. He will not do the voice.
He won't. He won't.
He won't do the voice.
He can't. It's not that he won't. He can't. It's legally, it's not his. He can't. He just can't, unfortunately.
Believe that, right? Can you believe that? He told me.
We had a whole game, all kind of we were gonna do we had this whole thing to do, and then I don't know, what was it, a week ago that you got the email that he said he
shut
can't
me down on it.
Yeah, just nothing. Not even mention it.
We didn't even say anything. I have been so respectful.
Didn't even bring it up.
Yep. I didn't bring up anything about it. I literally had said to him already that we will not ask any questions that we know you can't answer. Didn't bring up the voice thing at all because we were going to try to trick him into it, right?
Yeah.
Just kidding. But we're going to try to be like, oh, is there any voices that you've done in the past that may resemble what Darkside could sound like?
Yeah, we'll do a comparison kind of game, right? We'll take voices he's done before and is this hot and cold kind of game. You know,
Yep.
oh, am I getting colder, hotter? That type of deal.
And he flat out told me that he does not own the rights to the voice. So for him even saying anything about it, like we can say like, hey, you're Darkseid, you're playing Darkseid, you did a voice for Darkseid. Things that are known facts, we can talk all day about them. How he prepared for it, blah blah blah. He said, I cannot give away anything about it. It's Zach's property. So we're not gonna. I'm not trying to upset him or anything. So and who knows? Who knows? Maybe Zach will join us this Sunday. So stay tuned.
Yeah, maybe we could get Zach's impression of Ray's voice for Darkseid. Be great.
Yeah. So again, please join us Sunday at 5 p.m. That interview will be up and available to watch. So
come check us out, people.
Yep, my name is Ty, and I will see you. I will see you Sunday.
1 for 1.
Newest member.
Oh yeah.
The hell is that mean?
Do it for the culture, baby.
Yeah.
Peace and love. Peace and love.